Hello, I am Minecraft Phenom 08, and welcome to the 30th episode of my second 1 billion iron ingot challenge. In today's episode, I am going to improve my iron ore processing because the whole goal of this series is to actually get to 1 billion iron ingots. I can do better than ore doubling with my iron. So what I plan to do is I plan to use a sag mill. Now there are lots of different ways to process iron ore, and let's actually look at the different ways to process iron ore because there are many ways to do it. First off, you can just throw it in a furnace and you get a single iron ingot. If you use flux anodizers in a redstone furnace, you can get 2 iron ingots. If you pulverize it, you can get 2 pulverized iron, which becomes 2 iron ingots. In a pulverizer, if you have a special augment called a tectonic initiator and then you have the tectonic petroleum, you can actually ore triple, which that's actually a pretty good option. Another thing you can do is you can use an induction smelter with cinnabar and rich slag, and then you can also triple your ore, so you can get 3 iron ingots out of each ore. If you use the pyro concentrator along with cinnabar or rich slag, you can actually quadruple your ore, so you can get 4 ingots for each ore. This might be something I'm going to explore in the future, but like I said earlier, what I'm going to do today is I'm going to use a sag mill. Another interesting way, because most of the methods actually double the ore, but there are a few additional methods that can do more than that. For example, the melter from NuclearCraft, this is 2.5 times, and this is very consistent. It's actually perfectly consistent. So this gives 2.5 ingots worth of molten iron, so that's another way you can go. But today what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to use a sag mill, and I'm going to use some alloy grinding balls. Excuse me. So if we look up the grinding balls, there are actually plenty of options. For whatever reason, this is in the game, but it doesn't have any stats. But if we look, all these grinding balls have different values. And what I'm going to be looking for is something with a main output value that's very high, and something that is actionably reasonable to make. So Enderium is kind of out, as is Solarium, as is, there's something else here, I think, the Vibrant Alloy. I guess I could probably get away with doing the Vibrant Alloy, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the Energetic Alloy grinding ball. Now, grinding balls are pretty simple recipes. They're just a 5 recipe like this. You need 5 Energetic Alloy. You get 24 of the alloy grinding balls, and I believe that's the same for all of the grinding balls. It's just a recipe like that. But the reason I'm going to use energetic alloy is because it's something I can easily make, because energetic alloy is just redstone, gold, and glowstone. And if we take a look right here, I have lots of redstone, 3.2 million. I have lots of gold. I have almost 750,000 gold. In fact, I will in just a minute or two. And then glowstone I also have a lot of. So, I mean, that's a really good option. So that's what I'm going to do for that. So let's actually get some energetic alloy out. I'm just going to tell this thing to make 100 of it. Actually, I don't need to do that. Actually, I will need 1 ingot to set up an export bus. So let's grab a single ingot. And then I'm going to set up a secondary system a little bit later on. But first, let's focus on this primary system. So I actually have most of what I need with me. I have sag mills, I have alloy smelters, I have crafters, modular storage, item transport, energy transport. I have a lot of stuff with me. But anyways, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be building this in the basement. But first, I actually need to tell this export bus to stop exporting iron ore here, because we are no longer going to process it here. We are going to process it in the basement. So let's get on with it. The first thing I need to do is I actually need to dig out an area to put down my sag mills. I'm going to put 20 of them down here for right now. If I need more in the future, I can build more. It's going to be highly expandable, just like what I have upstairs. So let's set this to single block, because what I'm going to do is in the floor here, I'm going to put item conduit, and I'm also going to put the vibrant ender, or the ender energy conduit as well. So let's go ahead and get that out of the way. And this is not difficult at all. I will need to configure the item conduit, and that'll take a little bit of time, but that's okay. So there we have our energy. Let's see here. Where can I drop this down from? So actually I can steal energy from right up here. So if I do something like this, I can actually run my energy conduit like this. And that's fantastic. What I need to do now is I need to set down my sag mills. I have my torches in the wrong spot in this basement. I know why I did that. It's because I actually placed the torches before I placed the floor down. And so they were in the wrong spot. So yeah, I'll go ahead and deal with that at a later date. I also have capacitors with me, and rather than actually like going around and opening the GUIs, I can just right click them in. I know that I had 44 capacitors, so I laid down, I believe, 20 machines. I should have 24 capacitors, excuse me, left over. So yeah, I got capacitors in all of the machines. Now what I need to do is I need to set up all the machines to be input from the bottom and output to the top. And in addition to doing that, I also need to dig down here, and I need to have the item conduit to be input only. Now I need to do this for 19 more machines. I'm going to go ahead and do that off camera because that's going to take some time. I'm also going to move these torches and put them in the correct locations. And once I have all of that stuff done, I will be right back. Okay, so I have all of that done. Now the next thing I need to do is I need to grab some ME conduits here, and I need to connect up to my applied energistic system. I should have, actually I thought I had dense cable down here. I don't think I do. Let me see where the dense cable ends, because I might need to grab dense cable instead of the regular variant that I have with me. Does that not connect up there? No, it does. It goes through. It's dense. Okay, it's dense as of right here. Is it still dense right here? Oh shoot, I didn't want to do that. If you have dense ME conduit and then you replace it with ME conduit or vice versa, it will just replace it rather than... Okay, so I think I should be good. Yes, I should be good. Because I'm going to need several channels down here. And let's see here. So first off, I'm going to need a modular storage unit. I'm actually going to need 2 of these. So first off, let's go ahead and place one of them, say right here, and then one of them down here at the end. This will be where the items end up, and this will be where the items come from. So actually, I want to go ahead and do my item duct, because it's real simple. It just runs above here. And just like the thermal expansion machines, I believe these machines will be able to automatically output into the item duct. If they can't, I can add servos to them. I really don't want to do that, but I can if I need to. So that won't be a deal breaker. I'm putting this modular storage here. And actually, I'm going to go ahead and put the import bus on this. I'm going to throw some acceleration cards in. And then I am going to get a couple of export buses here. One of them being here, and then the other one will be on a crafter that I'm going to put right here. Now this crafter will actually make, it will make the energetic alloy. Oh shoot, I need alloy smelters. I have them. Yeah, I'm going to need to redo this. I'm going to need to move this, because I will have the alloy smelter. I'm going to put an alloy smelter there. Actually, you know what? I'm going to move this over as well. I'm going to move it one over. So alloy smelter here. It's going to be input from over here, output to the right. It needs a capacitor. It needs to have the crafter right here. It needs to be right here. And okay, yeah. So the export buses need to be, I need to put this modular storage back here. So my export buses need to be here and here. This one will be iron ore. So let me grab the iron ore. And already I have multiple thousand iron ore. So on this one, I actually need one capacity card, and let's do acceleration cards as well. Let's do acceleration cards over here as well. And there is something around somewhere making a lot of noise. So let's drop down here because I'm going to need to access these things. So I need to get power to all these things. I also need to get items out of the crafter. So let's do item out, always active. I'm going to need some speed upgrades as well. So let me grab some speed upgrades, extract speed upgrades that is. I shouldn't need them here, but I will definitely need them over here. So this will be extract always on, and this will need those speed upgrades. It can hold 15. And I need to do a covered cable here. And then I can do ME conduit going down. Okay, where did my... Okay, right there. So that should hook up shortly. And right here, I need to export gold. And I can actually get rid of that. Yeah, I can get rid of that. Gold, glowstone, and redstone. And this should be alloys only. And I need to get that thing powered. That's what we're missing here. There we go. Okay, so that's cooking up, and then we can set our recipe right here. It will be this right here. Let's set it to apply. And once this thing gets a little more power, it'll cook a little bit quicker. Oh, and I need power over here as well. Derp. So actually, I want to wrench this connection. Okay, so did that work? Did I get... Yes, I got grinding balls. Cool. So basically what these grinding balls do is... See how it says main output 160%? Normally from the sag mill, I would get 2 pulverized iron. But on average at this point, I will get 160% of that amount. Which ends up to be like 3.05 or 3.1 or something like that. So essentially, I'll be ore tripling from here on out. As you saw right there, I got 4 iron ore. And it looks like everything's cooking pretty well. I will need to go ahead and run my ME conduit throughout the bottom here, and I totally forgot about that. So I have this in single mode right now. I need to... Let's go ahead and put it in tunnel mode, because that works pretty well. Just need to dig down, and I need to run my ME conduit over. So it stops, what, right there? Cool. So I just need to run this all the way over here. And right there. And then I can do my covered cable right here. So let's grab some facades and hit that. Hit that. And then hit these guys over here as well. Okay, so it looks like everything's working pretty well. I got the energetic alloy cooking up. I have the grinding balls going to where they need to go. It looks like shortly all of the sag mills will have grinding balls. These grinding balls do last a little while. I'm not sure exactly how many grinds they can do before they are KO'd, but anyways. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to clean this up, and I can do that off camera because that's just a really simple process of laying down a bunch of stone. So once I have that done, I will be right back. Okay, now that I have this system up and running, I'm actually going to build another really similar system, but this will be to process things that give pulverized iron as a secondary output. Now, if we look at the pulverized iron and go to the sag mill recipe, there are a couple things that I can do, tin ore and aluminum ore. So these give pulverized iron as a secondary output. So in my sag mills, I want to use a grinding ball that gives as many secondary outputs as I possibly can. So obviously energetic alloy is not a very good one. Electrical steel would do well. Pulsating iron would also do pretty well. But what I am going to use, and steel would also be fantastic, but that's really expensive even for me. What I'm going to use is aluminum. So it gives the bonus output at a rate of 215%. So instead of having essentially 10% chances here, I'll have something like 20% chances to get pulverized iron each time tin or aluminum ore goes through. So obviously that's a lot better than before. So once again, I need to come up here. I need to get rid of the tin and the aluminum. So none there. Tin or aluminum ore. Okay, let's double check this guy. Tin or aluminum. So there's aluminum again. Kind of thought I had a duplicate somewhere. So we should be seeing tin ore and aluminum ore start to stack up, and it looks like that is the case. So let's grab some aluminum as well. And that is also stacking up, which means I am good to go. I have another floor that I built to this building, and it is right here. So let's get started. Obviously, first off, kind of the same steps here. I am going to get rid of this, and I'm going to put down the vibrant or the energy conduit and the item duct again, or the item conduit again. So let's grab the item conduit. And then I should be able to just run this all the way across and then do the same thing for the energy conduit. Okay, that's good. And then on top of that, I need to place the sag mills again. And then on top of the sag mills, I'm going to do the impulse item duct again. Yeah, I mean, this system is very much identical to the system I just set up, with just a few differences here. Once again, I am going to set this to be output to the top, input from the bottom, and I'm going to slap a capacitor in. And then I'll also do the item conduit configuration to be input only on the bottom. And I'm going to go ahead and do this all off camera again. So once I have that done, I will be right back. So now I have all of the item conduits configured and all of the sag mills configured. Let's go ahead and slap down our modular storage units. So one's going to go right here with a impulse or with an impulse item duct on top like that. And then the other one's going to go right here. And this will be where I'm going to have my export bus. It will be actually, yeah, I'm going to need another capacity card, but that's okay. So I need to set this to be aluminum ore and tin ore. We can go ahead and throw that in there because we won't need it anymore. And then I need to grab one more capacity card. And I believe I forgot to set down an acceleration card in one of my... Oh, because I didn't place down my import bus yet. That needs to be right here. And that needs to have acceleration cards on it. And then I need an alloy smelter right here. Once again, I am going to do input from the left, output to the right. It needs a octadic capacitor, and it also needs an export bus right here. Now, to make the aluminum balls, or the aluminum grinding balls, I need 3 tin ingots, 1 silver ingot, and 4 pieces of glowstone dust is the recipe to make 4 of the ingots. And so let's just go ahead and set that up. So 10 silver, glowstone. We can go ahead and throw those in there. Obviously it's not working because it doesn't have power right now. We'll set it to be alloys only. And then let's go ahead and dig this out. And then I need to drop down below. But first, actually, I should probably dig that out and put down my crafter. Now my crafter is going to be right here. And do I have any aluminum on me? Because I would like to set I do. So I'd like to set the recipe real fast. Recipe is that. Hit apply. And that'll be fantastic. So now let's drop down below. And we need to do a few things here. So let's... need to dig this out and set down item conduit. This will need to be always on. We'll give it some extract speed upgrades. This will need to be always on. It doesn't need any speed upgrades. And then we need some power to these guys, so let's do that. You need power, and you need power. And I misplaced you. And I want to disconnect that. Okay, so now I need to get ME conduit up here. So somewhere in the floor, I should have dense conduit. Let's just run this up. Oh, shoot. Did not mean to do that. Okay, so what I can do to avoid doing that is actually click there. So let's do that, and I think I'll just bring this across like this for those buses, and then for the bus over here I can just run this over like so. And I need a better vantage point, but I don't really have one. Okay, so my bus will be, I believe, right here. So my covered gable can go right here, and fantastic. So now we can just facade that up, and we can also facade this up over here. I think everything's just about ready to go, unless I messed something up, which is entirely possible. So let's see here. Why are we not... Oh, I know why we're not getting power, because I didn't connect it up. Yep, I knew I'd messed something up. So I should be able to just run power from right here. And I actually want to disconnect these. But I believe... Ooh, that sounds good. Things started grinding. Okay, so that sounds promising. Let's see here. Do we have... Aluminum should be cooking up here. We should get some aluminum grinding balls. And as you can see, they are right here. We are already getting some iron, which is fantastic. All of that is being pushed up to the impulse item duct, which is traveling over here, and it is being imported. So fantastic. I think everything is all done. So yeah, in today's episode I set up 2 new ore processing centers. One is for aluminum and tin ore. It processes those ores so that I get more residual iron, pulverized iron from them, and then I obviously redstone furnace that into more iron ingots. And then downstairs, the first thing I set up is a system to more efficiently pulverize iron ore into pulverized iron. So I'm getting about 50% more pulverized iron from this system alone, and then maybe a few more percent upstairs. So I will be getting quite a bit more iron ingots from using this new system versus the old system. So I'm pretty excited about that. So yeah, it's the 30th episode, and I haven't done a very good job of keeping you up to date on how many iron ingots I have. Right now I have 2.5 million iron ingots. I'm not sure what my rate is right now, but it is actually pretty good. It's probably between 500,000 and a million per day at this point. So yeah. So anyways, if you liked today's episode, definitely give it a like. If you enjoy watching automation in modded Minecraft, that's pretty much what I do. I set up large scale stuff like I did today. So anyways, yeah, definitely consider subscribing if you like that sort of thing, if you haven't already. Anyway, signing off, I am Minecraft Phenom 08, and I will see you next time.